And we are live, and welcome everyone to another live stream here on my channel. Of course, I am Robbie1 Kenobi, and first off, I do want to apologize that we are starting a little later than was originally advertised. We are live, and welcome everyone to another live stream here on my channel. Oh my God, Robbie1 Kenobi, and anything can happen when it's live, ladies and gentlemen. I have the live chat pulled up, but I forgot to turn off the freaking volume.
Well, I don't think they can hear that, so you're good.
Yeah, but other than that, like I was saying, I do apologize that we did not start as we originally were advertised. You know, Daniel had some things to do, but we are live. And with that said, I want to bring in my special guest. Of course, he's been on my channel before. Very good friend of mine. He's one of my fellow Four Horsemen brothers. He is, and I haven't referred to him as this in a long time, but he is the realest Giza in the room. I'm talking about Daniel Giza. Daniel, thank you for joining me.
Absolutely, Robbie. Thank you for having me back on the channel. It's been a long time coming, but I wanted to do it one more time.
Yep, you already know. I got Daniel Giza. Daniel Giza.
Look what we got here, Cass.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Smack Talker, Skywalker, and Muscles Marinara. How you doing?
Bada boom.
Yes, bada boom.
You gotta get the bada boom.
Yeah. Bada boom. Realest horseman in the room. How you doing? Yeah. All right. So, as the title of the video states, guys, this is one more match. And this is basically a top 5 countdown where Daniel and I will be running down our list of the wrestlers that we hope to see back in WWE and NXT for one more match. Very simple topic, very simple format. I'm going to have Daniel, of course, go first as my guest. He'll run down his list of wrestlers he'd like to see back for one more match and the opponents for each of those wrestlers he'd like to see. And then I will go with my list and we'll open it up to questions and comments if there are any in the live chat. So, Daniel, thanks again for joining me. Without any further ado, if you are ready, willing, and able.
I'm always.
And by the way, yes, and by the way, WWE SmackDown Live, bring back the Ready, Willing, and Gable rally towel. Why would you say
money?
Yes,
shirts, towels.
Yes, if you're gonna push Chad Gable as a top single star, bring back the towel. That's what made him popular in NXT. But like I said, Daniel, on Twitter, because this is WWE logic, if it's doing well and it's getting over, you scrap it like talking smack on Tuesday nights.
Mm-hmm. Delete.
And I hate that. I miss talking smack on Tuesday nights. I feel like Tuesday nights are missing something after SmackDown.
It is. Oh God. But we have 205 Live. Don't worry.
Oh, don't even get me started on 205 Live. I gave up on that show a long time ago.
Delete.
Delete. Delete. Yes. All right. So thanks again, Daniel. So without any further ado, why don't you go through your list of the 5 wrestlers you'd like to see have one more match?
One more match, to quote the great Christian. So can't forget about that. We'll start up with number 5 and then work our way to the top. Number 5, I have The Rock. And the opponent that I have him facing, I still think this could happen one day, versus a heel Roman Reigns. That feud just screams money. It just writes itself. I mean, that would be electrifying, to quote the great one.
Definitely.
Number 4. Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. John Morrison, versus Seth freaking Rollins. I just thought, on paper, that's not a match that I've really heard people floated around, but if Morrison would ever come back, imagine the type of matches that they could have. I just think their styles would work so well with each other. You know, they both kind of have that high-octane, flashy type of moveset, so that would be a match I'd want to see.
That's a great match right there, man. It would be Phoenix Splash versus the End of the World, Starship Pain, as it was called in WWE. Yes, that would be an awesome match between 2 very gifted athletic machines. That's awesome match right there.
Thank you. Number 3, Daniel Bryan, if he could ever make his return, which I still think we will see. We haven't seen the last of him wrestle. I think he'll make that decision, versus AJ Styles. That was the match I was hoping. Beyond hope at WrestleMania 32. I know that that's what Bryan wanted, and it's just a shame that we couldn't have got it. We got a good match against Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles, but can you imagine AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan on the grandest stage of them all? Holy crap.
That would be amazing.
Oh, I'm just picturing it now in my mind with the crowd going, yes, 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 and just, man.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. And this is a really good, you're going to like this one. Goes back to the Ring of Honor days. Number 2, my favorite, and I still miss him to this day, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe.
Yes, the feud that put Punk on the map yes, Punk and Joe. Would love to see those guys clash one more time.
Because they're good friends too, and it just, wow.
Yeah.
I've heard their feud in Ring of Honor was very good. I've never seen any of their matches. I've seen clips, but never any of the full match. I'd love to see that match. That's a WrestleMania. Any of these matches could take place at WrestleMania. So, yeah, that's number 2 on my list. And number 1, it's kind of revisiting an old feud from way back in 2003. Maybe they could do this match one more time. I'd love to see it. When I saw them together in the ring in Pittsburgh, PA.
Oh, I know what
awesome.
it is. I do it.
Kurt Angle versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar. There you go. That's my list.
Great list, Daniel. Yes, Brock and Kurt. It'd be great to see them lock up one more time. The only thing that would concern me is Brock, just because he's a machine. And, you know, if he drops Kurt on his neck the wrong way, it's going to be scary. That could be very life-threatening.
It could.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Like, you know, what if they let Kurt and Brock do a shoot kind of UFC fight?
Oh, my God. Could you imagine, like, in their primes, like Kurt and Brock, like, way back in 2003, them in a UFC match? Holy shit. Because Kurt said he might have went into UFC if the opportunity arose. Back then, if it was as popular, man, I'd like to see that fight. Oh, shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Whew.
All right. Well, great list, Daniel. Like I said, we're going to move on to my list. Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat because this is something Gene and I and Mike are always mentioning. My number 5 and my number 4 are your number 5 and number 4. You did it this time.
What?
So number 5 on my list is The Rock. And, of course, the one guy that I want to see The Rock come back to have one more match with is the same guy you'd like to see him have, Daniel. It's very logical and obvious. A heel Roman Reigns. I feel like Rock passing the torch to Roman Reigns would be big for Roman. And just imagine, you know, a heel Roman Reigns beating down his own family, his own flesh and blood to become one of the top dogs, one of the top faces in WWE. It'd be crazy. You know, I know Rock is doing great things out in Hollywood with all the movies he's been doing lately. And as a huge fan of The Rock, you know, he's one of my all-time favorites. I would love to see him back in the ring for one more match. And I feel like a match between him and Roman Reigns would heal the sin or forgive the sins, however you want to say it, of twice in a lifetime, which I still to this day felt never should have happened. I do not know one person who can give me a strong reason why this match should have happened at WrestleMania 29.
Money. That's really it.
And for Cena to get his win back,
his
WWE Championship. But other than that, The Rock and Roman Reigns, it's a WrestleMania match. It could do wonders for Roman, especially as a heel. And, you know, who wouldn't want to see The Rock back in the ring for one more match?
Hell yeah.
Number 4 on my list is also Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. John Morrison. But my opponent, the dream opponent I have for him is from NXT, and it's Roderick Strong.
Ooh, I like that one.
Roderick Strong, of course, the messiah of the backbreaker, Johnny Mundo, the mayor of Slamtown. He's known as the parkour expert. I think their styles would mesh well, you know, just in the insane spots that Mundo will pull off, the great backbreakers we'd see Roddy pull off. Just imagine him catching Mundo in End of the World and doing some wicked backbreaker. I mean, that would be insane.
Now, my question for you is, who is the heel and who is the face in this one?
Johnny Mundo's doing a great job as a heel on Lucha Underground. I don't know if necessarily this would need to be a heel versus face match. Like, it could be just a face versus face. Who's the best? You know, a veteran like, well, they're both veterans, but, you know, you'd have Mundo, who came to WWE before Roderick Strong came to WWE and NXT. You know, so you got like the old Lion versus the new Lion. It'd be an intriguing matchup. You know, and I'm sure the fans might go 60-40 for Roddy, but I don't think you really need to do face versus heel in this instance. It could just be two straight up faces going one-on-one to see who's the best.
Sure.
Because you don't always have to do heel versus face. You can do heel versus heel every once in a while. You can always do face versus face. Mix it up a little in wrestling. That's what I like to see. Not always the same thing, yeah. It's like Vince McMahon said, you just don't have to be good guys versus bad guys.
Damn it.
Yeah. Damn it.
What the hell? Donald, where are you?
Number 3 on my list. Now, number 3 on my list is one of my all-time favorites. And, you know, at one point, I felt like he should retire because he was constantly getting injured while he was in WWE. But since leaving WWE, going to the Indies, and particularly going to Lucha Underground, he's been killing it. He's returned to his old form. He looks 10 years younger. Number 3 on my list is Rey Mysterio Jr. And the opponent that I'd love to see him face if he was to ever have one more match in WWE, Sami Zayn.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one a lot.
One hell of a match. They both have Lucha Libre. Sami has a little Lucha Libre in his arsenal. Rey, of course, is known as the king of Lucha Libre, El Rey. It would just be an awesome match. Like, just imagine Sami Zayn in the ring, waiting for Rey Mysterio, and to throw it back to Rey's early days in WWE. Imagine if Rey's up for it. Imagine if they do that entrance where he comes from the floor. And he's standing there in the entrance ramp, and the crowd's cheering him on, and Sami Zayn's just looking at him. And it's just, that would be an incredible match. I would love to see Rey versus Sami Zayn. Think about it. Sami used to wrestle as a luchador. In his independent days, he used to wrestle as El Generico, which he loves to deny that he was El Generico, or he says El Generico and him are two different people, but still, Sami used to wrestle as El Generico. It'd be funny if maybe Zayn pulled out the old El Generico mask in a match with Rey, but still, it would be one hell of a match between the King of Lucha and one of the true indie darlings, one of the true fan favorites in WWE.
Make it a ladder match and you have me sold. Yes.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Rey and Zayn in the ladder match would be very interesting.
There you go.
Number 2 on my list, Trish Stratus. Now, there are lots of good to great women's wrestlers I'd love to see Trish Stratus mix it up with if she returned to WWE. You know, from Sasha Banks, Bayley, Natalya, you know, Asuka, who was actually supposed to be, it was actually supposed to be Trish versus Asuka at NXT TakeOver Toronto. A little backstory here. But when Trish found out she was pregnant, they brought in Mickie James. So, you know, nothing with Mickie being brought in, because Mickey's still a great women's wrestler. I'd love to see Trish and Mickie mix it up one more time if Trish. I'm sorry, tricks are for kids, guys. If Trish ever came back for one more run, be it shorter or whatever, love to see her mix it up with Mickie James. And we cannot forget our Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss is the best they want. Exactly.
But the one woman that I would love to see Trish mix it up with, because this is just be an awesome fight, is Ember Moon.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah, I would love to see Trish versus Ember Moon. Like I said, Trish versus Sasha would be down for. Trish versus Bayley. Trish versus Becky. Trish versus Charlotte. So many great women's wrestlers in WWE. Yes, Raw's women's division is a mess, but still, just in general, the diverse talent that the women possess, you know, from Becky to Sasha to Charlotte to Natty to Tamina, you know, tons of great picks that Trish could wrestle if she ever decided to have one more run in WWE. But for me, the one that I'd love to see, just because their styles are great, their personalities, Ember Moon would be awesome.
I like that one a lot.
I'd love to see Trish and Asuka one day, just because it was supposed to be the match we get at Toronto, but Trish and Ember Moon would just be awesome. And my number 1 pick to have one more match in WWE. Now, this guy technically has only wrestled for WWE for a short period of time. He never fully signed a contract, but I'm sure WWE would you know, do whatever they had to bring him in for one more match, and that guy would be Kota Ibushi. And the opponent because I feel like with how things are going for this one guy, I feel like eventually they could do him and Kota. I would love to see Kota Ibushi versus Hideo Itami.
That's a good one.
Now
That's a really good one.
There's history you could use for these two. It was supposed to be Hideo and Kota as a team in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and then unfortunately Hideo got legit injured.
He did.
And Kota went on to team with TJ Perkins. But think about it. Hideo Itami, as a heel right now, he demands respect. He deserves respect. And imagine if he's just at one point, he comes face to face with Kota Ibushi, like Kota is a guest or something, and he just gets in Kota Ibushi's face and disrespects him and be like, hey, you were supposed to be my partner. You dumped me for TJP. You have no respect for me. You know, like, just imagine it. He gets in Kota's face. He disrespects Kota. And then at, like, NXT TakeOver before WrestleMania 34, or even at WrestleMania 34, if Hideo's on the main roster by then, Kota versus Hideo in what needs to be a traditional strong style battle.
Yeah, they would just tear each other apart.
Yes. Remember how Kota lit up TJP in the finals of the, or in the semifinals of the Cruiserweight Classic?
Oh, he did.
He lit TJP up big time with those kicks. So just imagine what kind of damage Hideo and Kota would do to each other if they go full strong style.
Wow.
That's the match I want to see. I started really salivating over that match just because Kota Ibushi, I totally respect him for why he doesn't want to sign with WWE, but if Triple H was to sign him for like a 1 or 2 match deal, him and Hideo Itami, I would just love to see those two clash because, like I said, the history, they're both renowned in Japan. Just imagine them going full strong style on each other.
Man, that's a match I never thought I wanted to see until I heard about it. I want to see it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, any honorable mentions, Daniel, you want to mention real quick that almost made your list?
Crap. Sorry, my brain's so shocked today. I'm trying to get it.
No, that's like I'm saying. Because I only have like one honorable mention, but I was wondering if you had any yourself.
I might need some time to think. So, I did have some, but I don't know if I could remember them. They might just pop in my head.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of the video. I'm trying to rack my brain.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions. Oh, crap. I'm trying to think who. Oh, was there something with Undertaker? Oh, I can't. Well, what about Undertaker? I don't know. Could he? Well, he's retired though, right? Or is he? I don't know.
Well, I mean, we know that it was most likely his last match at Mania with Roman Reigns. But I mean, like, if you want to mention Taker real quick, like, hey, if Taker was to have one more match, if he's not fully retired, but this final match was his ultimate ride, his last ride, who would you want to see him fight?
John Cena.
I feel like, yeah.
It should have been this year, honestly, because I think the match could have been a lot better than what we got.
Yeah.
I really do. It was either him or Balor. Those are the two that I come back to.
I would have loved to have seen Taker versus the Demon Finn Balor. For me, one interesting matchup I would have loved to have seen, if Taker could still go, him versus Aleister Black.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, just imagine, first off, imagine this. Imagine the spectacle of their entrances. You have Aleister Black doing the coffin entrance, the vampire-like entrance, and then he's sitting in the ring like CM Punk, legs crossed, just sitting there, and then out comes Taker. Just imagine the aura and everything, the energy produced, the electricity from something like that.
You'd be psyched before the match even starts.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I would love to see that. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's part of me that would love to see one more match from Taker, but then there's part of me that wants him just to stay retired because I don't feel like there's much else for him to do. And he didn't really look too good in shape recently. So
he did not.
Yeah, if this is it for Taker, then thank you again, like I said on Facebook, for all the years you were with WWE, all the memories, everything you gave us.
Thank you. Seriously, I can never stop saying that enough. Thank you.
Undertaker. There will never be another Undertaker. But the one honorable mention I did have, and originally, Daniel, he was on my list until I thought of The Rock. The one honorable mention I do have is Batista. Batista may not be the most popular pick, but I feel like I would like to see one more run in WWE from Batista, one more run to make up for the unfortunate disaster that was his 2014 run. And I'm going to be fair to Batista like I was before. It wasn't his fault. He just came back at the wrong time when really it was Daniel Bryan's time, you know. Sure. And I feel like the thing is, I feel like WWE blew the whole opportunity. You know, if you were going to have him win the Royal Rumble, the thing for me that blew it was when they promoted him coming back on Raw. Why not save it as a surprise for the Royal Rumble, you know?
That would have made more sense.
Yes. But then he came back on Raw, and I was like, okay, is he going to win it? And what happened? He won it, and he was not very liked after that. So that's why I would like Batista to come back, have one more run, be it a short run or for a year, whatever, in WWE. And the one guy, like I know people say they want to see him fight Brock because they never wrestled other than in OVW, but the one guy that I'd love to see Batista have one more match with, if he was to return in WWE, is Samoa Joe.
Ooh.
Just think about it. Samoa Joe is a freaking badass. He's booked like a badass. He's not booked like a chicken shit heel. He gets in people's faces. He's not afraid to hurt somebody. Just go back and watch that promo between him and Brock when they were doing the interview, the split screen interview. And remember how Joe took it over?
He's like, this is my interview, and I'm going to go find you and kick your ass.
Yeah, he's like, just look back. Daniel Bryan choked him out. AJ Styles choked him out. Austin Aries choked him out. Seth Rollins choked him out. Like, I was just marking out for that thing. Like, that's Samoa Joe. That's whether he's a face or a heel, he's a badass, and he doesn't care who you are. He'll get in your face. So that's what I would love to see. I would love to see Batista come back, Joe get in his face like he did with Kurt Angle, and have those two brawl, and then have them go to war on pay-per-view.
Man, that would be one hell of a fight. You got to have a stipulation, like no holds barred.
Oh, hell yeah. It has to be no holds barred or no disqualification where they can just fight with no rules or regulations. Just let them tear each other apart, you know?
Yeah, those are some good picks you got there.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my one honorable mention. So I'm gonna look at the chat right now, and a majority of the comments are from my good friend T on Couponer. So thank you for those, bro. Okay, let's see what he says. So WWE should have turned Reigns heel after beating Taker, then build feud versus Rock for SummerSlam. Yes, for the longest time we've said Roman should be heel. They should have turned it. Well, he was pretty much a heel when he beat Taker, but yes, they should have turned him heel and, you know, gone from there. But I don't think Rock would have returned for SummerSlam. I think Mania is more of a fitting stage for him and Roman to do their match. Daniel Bryan versus Kurt Angle, GM versus GM. I see you like that, Daniel.
Yes.
That'd be a hell of a wrestling match. TN also says, I thought WrestleMania 29 should have been Punk versus Rock versus Cena. Yeah. Not just Rock versus Cena, too. It should have been Punk and Cena or Punk versus Rock versus Cena. Daniel, you said Taker versus Y2J. That would have been really interesting.
We never got that. Think about it. They never feuded. I think they had, like, what, one match on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's on Jericho's DVD.
Weird.
Yeah. You know what? Do you remember when Jericho came back and they were doing the whole It Begins 2012 almost? That I seriously thought that was going to lead to him and Taker at Mania 28.
Ooh.
That would have been interesting to see. But don't get me wrong, I love that we got Hell in a Cell.
Sure.
And Jericho.
But then you could have had Punk versus Triple H and Punk get his win back that he never did. There you go.
Ooh,
seriously, what was the point of that? He beats me.
Booking.
And then he loses. You know what I mean? There was no point to that. That still pisses me off.
Good booking right there, Daniel.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah. Rock versus Orton. Yeah, Rock versus Orton would have been an intriguing match.
Never got it. Never got it.
They only crossed paths at Mania 20 in the handicap match. Yeah. TN also says good one, Zayn versus Mysterio. Yeah. I've been thinking about that match for a while. That would be an awesome match between Zayn and Ray. He also said, Robbie got tongue-tied thinking about Trish. Who doesn't get tongue-tied thinking about Trish? Remember SummerSlam 2002, Trish in the ice cream truck?
Oh wait. Oh crap.
It was a commercial.
I don't know if I remember the commercial.
Yeah, she's in an ice cream truck and she's like, "Who wants some streets? Who wants some? See? Who wants some sweet Stratus facts?" Damn, I'm getting tongue.
It's tough to say.
Yeah. Will Taker get his win back at Survivor Series versus Reigns? Survivor Series is in Texas. I don't know. Like, see, there's part of me that doesn't want Taker to come back, only because I think he should just retire. And I mean, because if he does come back, that takes away from the whole moment of him leaving his gear. I don't want that. Okay. Yes, I know we said if we'd like to see Taker have one more match, but really I don't want to see him come back. Because I want Taker to retire, be healthy, live, enjoy life with his wife and kids, and just So nice thought, Josh. But I don't want to see Taker come back at Survivor Series. If they're gonna do something with Reigns, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they're gonna do with Reigns. Let's see. Let's see what happens with SummerSlam. And then he also likes the idea of Joe versus Batista. It's just never happened. It's a totally fresh matchup. Joe and Batista. Brock and Batista have only had one match, which is an OVW. And if they face now in 2007, 2018, it is a fresh matchup. But I like the freshness of Joe and Batista, because they've never crossed paths to my knowledge. So all right, well, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Daniel, unless you have anything else to say, any other wrestlers you'd like to see come back for one more match, like I said, as honorable mentions, or just anything you wanted to say about anything else you want to say about your list or my list?
They're all really great choices. They got me thinking of matches that I never would have thought of, particularly the matches you listed. So it's always great to get the discussion going. And I just want to say to people watching or watching after, leave your top 5 matches that you can come up with. It's always great to see what you guys can come up with out there. So good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that little promotion there, Daniel. And I think we're going to pretty much wrap it up here, guys. This is probably the shortest video that Daniel and I and the Horsemen in general have done. But this was fun. I love discussions like this, be it a top 10 list, a top 5 list, whatever. This is always fun to do. So, Daniel, I know you said that you may not be on YouTube as much because of law school, but of course I'm going to give you that chance to promote your channel and promote your social media. Let the viewers know where they can find you and interact with you.
Absolutely, and I'll make an announcement this week for the future of my channel, what I'm going to be doing going forward. So I'll keep you guys in the loop with that. But be sure to check me out, youtube.com/DanielGiza412 for all my latest thoughts. And yeah, and be sure to check out Robbie's channel as well. He's got some great stuff on there.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. And all of Daniel's social media is down below in the description box as always, guys. Like he said, feel free to make a video response or tweet us or comment down below. Who are 5 wrestlers you'd like to see have one more match in WWE and NXT? It can be either brand. And let me know let us know which opponents you'd like to see them wrestle. As far as me, of course, you can find me here on my channel, Robbie1Kenobi. You can also find me at Robbie1Kenobi on not Instagram, on Twitter. It's spelled the same way as here on my YouTube channel. Just want to make some announcements regarding videos coming up for this channel this week. Last night I did a top 10 NXT TakeOver Hidden Gems video. The link to that is in the description box. As always, you guys are, guys, feel free to make your own video responses after you see mine. And I want to give a shout out to my good friend AHS Rules. He did a top 8 video response to the NXT TakeOver Hidden Gems. He had a great list as well. Make sure to go check that out. I actually tweeted that, so if you follow me on Twitter, go look for that tweet with Austin's video. But for this week, I have coming up NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 predictions. Very excited for TakeOver Brooklyn 3. I also have SummerSlam 2017 predictions coming up. Before SummerSlam, I'm also hoping to do a video response to Daniel. He did a video talking about the top 5 wrestlers he thinks need to go back to NXT during the rumored superstar shakeup, which is rumored to happen after SummerSlam. So I'm going to do my best to try to do a video about that before SummerSlam. And he also did a video, a little plug for his channel here, on the top 5 guys he'd like to see John Cena wrestle on the Raw brand. So, guys, definitely make sure to go check out that video on Daniel's channel. And I may make a video response to that But other than that, guys, that will do it for this channel. I want to give a shout out to my 4 Horsemen brothers, Gene and Mike. They couldn't join us today, but they're here with us in spirit, and I do hope to see them in my next live stream. Especially Gene, especially you, my Us. I mean, we need to start tearing things up like we the Usos of the 4 Horsemen. Got to take them to the Uso penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? And Mike, you know, I look forward to hearing your video response, like you said. And of course, man, I got to do this because you're my boy. I hope everybody's gotten a chance to enjoy some of that crispy, tangy, honey mustard barbecue flavor.
Oh my God.
So with that said, guys, this is Robbie One Kenobi and Daniel, guys, are signing off. Thank you all for watching and listening. We are the realest horsemen in the room. He is the realest guys in the room. And we want to thank you all for watching and listening. Please go support our channels. And Daniel, best of luck to you in law school, man. Like I said before, you're welcome. Like I said before we started, you're going to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're going to be like the law.
I will be.
And guys, it was funny because Daniel brought up the moment where Triple H was hella ribbing Stone Cold because he had the badge because he was the sheriff, the law.
That's classic.
Is that a badge, Austin? And they were referencing the Dukes of Hazzard and some other some other show I forgot, but I remember like Barney Fife, and the Triple H is like Roscoe P. Coltrane. And the coach was on commentary for that, remember?
Oh my God. That's too much.
Yep. All right, well, we're going to end this video here, guys. Thank you all for watching and listening. Shout out to TN Couponer for being in the stream as always. And I think we need to make him an honorary horseman. I think we need to have him in the stream one of these days. So, Josh, hit us up. Let us know your availability, and we'd like to have you in the stream as an honorary horseman. So, with that said, guys, thank you all for watching and listening. Daniel Giza and Robbie One Kenobi signing off. Everybody enjoy your evening. SummerSlam and TakeOver Brooklyn weekend. And we'll see you all later. And please, guys, make sure to support our channels. Check out our new content. And we'll catch y'all later. Peace.
See you guys.